This morning we continue our movements and body shape into springtime. And like we've been talking about for the last 3 sessions, this being the 4th of the session, is that certain movements get us headed towards spring. Because of winter, we've been walking around with our big fur coats on and bracing against the cold. We're now heading towards more time in the sun and springtime, so we have to get into postures. But more importantly, we have to get into movements. So we got to get bigger movements, which we wouldn't have done in the middle of winter. We wouldn't have exposed our armpits. We wouldn't have get our throats open because we were scarved up. And we had our strides smaller to try to conserve heat loss coming out our crotch. And our heads were covered, but that's not so much in influencing how our head moved. So we're going to continue looking at what it takes to get our bodies into springtime movement as well as body shape, because the two go hand in hand. Because if you continue to walk around like you look like you're in the wintertime, you will look like a little nice babushka from Russia in the wintertime, instead of someone that looks like they're jumping out and having fun in the spring weather. So that's why we're continuing this little endeavor for the 4th installment. So here's where we start. We're going to start with our feet parallel because we're also going to remove unintentional limp. So we're going to start out with our feet parallel, hips width apart. Here's your ASIS, here's your pubic symphysis. Midway in between is that hips width apart. So once your feet are hips width apart, make sure those feet are parallel so they're going in the same direction like you're on a set of skis. I was watching the Winter Olympics or portions of it, which are really boring actually. And I was watching the downhill skiing, a little bit more exciting, but they were talking about how this one skier kept his feet parallel under every circumstances, and he was coming across the finish line with greater times or better times than everyone else because he could manage to keep his feet under, or skis under his feet and feet parallel, knees over the tops of his feet. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, that's what we do in this class. So we're gonna do that. Our feet are parallel. Now we're gonna push down with big toe and the corresponding metatarsal head, the outer 4 toes and the corresponding metatarsal heads, but especially that pinky toe. That pinky toe activates out those outer 4 toes and gets us to drop in probably the most important leg of the tripod, the outer 4 toes, and then finally your heel. Then we're going to put 1/3 the weight starting in the balls of the feet. So I want you to dig in with your balls of your feet. 1/3 the weight through your toes, and finally 1/3 the weight through your heels. Abs are nice and tight. We're going to push the weight slightly forward, so get even more forward to the forefoot and less out of your heels. Externally rotate your knees. We start time under tension, so your quads go on, your calves go on. Then we're going to fire up first chakra, your pelvic floor, second chakra, your lower abs, third chakra, your upper abs, as you draw your shoulder blades down and back and get your head over the top of your body. We're going to keep everything engaged as we suck in that tummy. Fire up your lats. And then we're just going to stand here. Get your balance. Keep your head over the top of your body. See what it feels like to be 50-50 in that weight distribution to get rid of that unintentional limp. Make sure all those toes are down, especially that pinky toe. Abs are engaged. And now we're going to hip circle. I want you to feel what it feels like to do a true hip circle where you go the same amount in each direction and that your head is almost motionless. This is activating what's called the righting reflex. The righting reflex keeps your head stable and motionless because we're trying to conserve the brain. And since the majority of our sense organs are up in our head, eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and even heart, going the opposite direction, it's important that it doesn't move around excessively because we have to be able to sense. Keep breathing. Keep your abs engaged. And good. Go ahead and stop in the center. Shoulder blades are down and back. Your quads are still on. We're going to do our little squats. You're going to go into a squat and then we're going to come out of it. Abs are nice and tight. There's no point your muscles turn off. I know it's really easy once you hit your body, you go, rest. No resting at the bottom. And when you hit the top, because it's so familiar, because you lock out your legs all day long, don't turn off your muscles up there either. It's just a squat, shoulder blades down and back, head stays over the top of your pelvic floor and in between your feet. Smiles are up and you're breathing. Today it's only me. Maria has a lot to do. We're heading into tax season, so a lot of people have a lot of things to do, and that's why we're gonna make sure to get the recordings out to you guys. Suck in that tummy. Keep breathing. But even though it's tax season, doesn't mean you can't get your bodies into shape, and that's what often happens. We start focusing on our taxes and not on our bodies, and then we're kind of wrecked on the other side of spring. Okay, good. Staying here, abs are nice and tight. You can grab your roller for this. You'll need it for balance. We're gonna start some of our motion. Abs are nice and tight. We're gonna start bringing our knee above the level of your hip and then back down again. Abs are nice and tight. Very little contact. It's just there in case you fall off balance. You should be able to do this with balance, so you can actually do this with your hands up if you'd like. What is that, 3? 4, abs are engaged. 5, don't use your butt and your calf to do the work of your abs and your hip flexors. 6, 7, 8, abs. 9, 10. This is just a warm up. We're gonna switch sides. Okay, same thing on this side. Abs are engaged, shoulder blades are down and back. Light contact on the roller. You are lifting and lowering your foot. You can even go into that stick 'em up position. Abs are engaged using that. Now right hip flexor. Don't overuse your butt on the left or your calf. I think that's 6, 7, 8. I need one of those clicky things. 9, 10. Good job. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy still. We're going back to the other side. Shoulder blades are down and back. And this is where it's relevant for walking and springtime movement. But more importantly, safety. We're going to bring that leg up and then you're going to extend back down. 2 separate motions. Legs up, extend that leg, bring it back, bring it down. Abs are nice and tight. That should be 3, 4, abs. 5, smiles are up. 6, 7, abs. 8, 9, one more. 10. So you should have felt your hip flexor. You should have felt balance. Those are the things we want you to work. Abs are engaged. We're gonna do the opposite side. Knee is up, leg extends, and leg comes back down. Abs are nice and tight. Feel the balance. 2 separate motions. Leg goes up, leg comes back down. Smiles are up. Keep breathing. These are essential movements, so we don't want to mess these up. That should be 5. Hopefully this is 6. Abs, don't round your spine. 8, 9, one more. Separate motions. So then that knee, then down. That's 10. Good job. Hip circles. So, as I've talked about before, one of the hardest things to watch is a beginning male martial arts class. Because what they try to do is make, they complex the motion. So they'll do a front kick, taking their leg forward like this. Instead of breaking it into 2 pieces, knee up, kick out, and then back down, they'll make it into one motion, which looks just weird and ineffective. But they're strong enough that they can get away with it. So we want to get away from behaviors that are strong enough that we can get away with it and actually do it correctly. Keep breathing. Okay. Let's see. Oh yes, this side. Abs are nice and tight. We're going to do this side. You're going to take your leg out to the side. See what it feels like to lift your leg out to the side. And we're just going to do lift and lowering of your hip. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Keep breathing. Feel what it feels like to move from your hip. Suck in that tummy. Smiles are up. Keep sucking in that tummy. 9, 10. Good job. We'll do the other side. Suck in your tummy. Yeah, the side kick is the worst thing to watch in an adult male martial arts class. especially if it's beginning and they haven't learned the skills yet of separating things. Keep your abs engaged. We're moving first the hips. 5, suck in that tummy. 6, 7, 8, smiles are up. 9, 10, good. We're gonna switch sides again. Okay, so what we're gonna do is leg goes up, then we're gonna kick out to the side, then back, and then down. 2 motions, knee up, leg extends, leg bends, leg back down. Keep breathing. That should be 3. Whoops, I combined them. Up, open, back, close. Oops, I goofed again. Oh no. Open, side. Keep breathing. Should be 8, I guess. 9. One more. I got it together. 10. So you can see how even I have problems with not making it into one motion, because it's a great way to cheat. So the same thing, leg goes out the side, leg extends, leg comes back, and then together. Open, side, connect. Keep breathing. Oh, I see what I was doing wrong on the other side. Abs. And it's good to analyze motion and see where you do things right and see where you do things wrong. What is that for? Abs. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, 10. Good job, everyone. Suck in that tummy, feet parallel, hips width apart, hip circles. Keep breathing. Smiles are up as we now go in the opposite direction. Okay. We're gonna go, no, let's stay here first. We're gonna do a twist, but I want you to visualize you're in quick dried cement up to your waist, so you can't move from the waist below, so it's all torso rotation. Suck in your tummy. It doesn't matter if you go far, but I want you twisting from your torso. Go as far to the right as you can, keeping your hips square, knees pointing forward, rotate your torso. Draw your right shoulder down, abs are nice and tight, and you're breathing. Because twist is something that moves us into springtime motion, because we love watching people twist and run around and do fun, playful things. And this should fire up your latissimus dorsi on your right side. Okay, now we're gonna go to the left. Same thing, suck in your tummy. Rotate. You should feel your left latissimus dorsi, suck in that tummy, keep those hips square. You're in quick dried cement. And good, come back to center, abs are nice and tight. Stay in this position, slight bend in the knees. You're gonna take that left hand over the top of your head as you push your hips over to the right. Chest is up, abs are nice and tight. Smiles are up. Opening up that armpit, like we said, opening up. Temperature release. Sometimes when we're sleeping on really hot days, you'll notice your arm goes over the top of your head because you're trying to dissipate heat out of your armpit. Okay? And then other side. So hair tends to grow on the human body where we have the greatest amount of heat loss. So we, as is pretty obvious, it's your armpits, your crotch, and the top of your head. So we're opening up those areas. We won't call it crotch, in this case we'll call it the hips. Abs are nice and tight, suck in that tummy. Push those hips over, just a second more, and good. Abs are nice and tight. We're gonna do our piano player stretch. You're gonna interlock your fingers, straighten your arms out, draw your shoulder blades down, back. Take your hands over top of your head, and then we're gonna go side to side. So the human body is really neat. It's set up in a way that's almost gyroscopic. So we have 3 compartments with some element that has a counter-correcting gyroscopic property. One is your head. Your head has a really interesting gyroscopic property. That's your mandible. So you can drop your arms out, shake them out. So when your head goes offline, your jaw usually counterbalances you like that. I'm exaggerating just so you can see that that happens. So that's what keeps our head and affects that righting reflex. And so the jaw is part of that righting reflex. The other compartment is down low, it's your abdomen. So when our torso goes offline, our hips usually counter it, so we don't fall off balance. So we get a sense of counterbalancing. And that's happening because the bowl, like the mandible, the pelvic bowl counterbalances what happens in the hips so we don't fall over. But the third place is really interesting, and you wouldn't think so. It's your heart. Because the heart's constantly in motion, it has a certain amount of inertia and inertia balance. So as it beats, it takes a little bit to get it offline, so it helps keep the thoracic cage upright. So we're gonna activate each one of those things. You're gonna relax your jaw and let it hang so it can be dynamic in that righting reflex. You're gonna engage your abs so it allows you full connection to your hips. And finally, we're gonna breathe because the heart and the lungs, they work together, okay? So we're gonna take a step back. We're gonna increase some of our twisting. You're gonna bend your front knee, make sure that knee's over the top of your foot. Rear heel is high, abs are nice and tight. We're gonna work some of our twists. Chest goes up, abs are on. Push your hips back. We're working time under tension, so you should feel nothing in any joint. That includes your low back, which is a whole bunch of joints. We got a nice straight spine, push your hips back, quads on, heels lifted, abs are nice and tight. We're gonna reach out as far as you possibly can, and then in the opposite direction with that right hand. Abs are nice and tight, you're sucking in your tummy, and we're gonna be super slow. This should be working your butt. It's elongating motion, and it's also activating in the twist. Keep breathing. That should be 3. 4, suck in that tummy. Remember, it's time under tension, so our core's engaged. 5, 6, keep breathing. 7, smiles are up. 8, 9, your butt and your quad are the only thing that should be working hard. Your abs are stabilizing, that's 9. One more. And that's 10. Stay in this position. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy, arms back behind you. You're gonna lift and lower your rear leg. Head does not move. Foot always goes back to the same spot. That's 3, 4, abs on. 5, 6, 7, you're using both butt cheeks now. 8, 9, 10. Good, stay in this position, abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Hold forward as you bring your knee to your chest and then back down again to the same spot. 2, abs are nice and tight. Spine is straight. 3, 4, 5, keep breathing. 6, keep this leg bent. 7, that's your right leg. 8, abs. 9, 10, excellent. We are going to come up to upright first. Hip circles. Notice if you put the work anywhere other than your butt and your quad. If it's in your neck or your shoulders, it's in the wrong spot. If it's in your ankle or your knee or low back, it's the wrong spot. Opposite direction. Keep breathing. Okay. We're gonna do now the opposite side. You're gonna take your right leg back behind you, front knee is bent, knees over the top of your foot. You're pushing your hips back, abs are nice and tight, you're sucking your tummy. No pain into any joints. This is not about joints, this is about muscles. So we want the quad on, glute max on, abs are nice and tight, lats are on. Okay, here we go, deep lunge. This is a lunge twist. Keep breathing. This opposite arm really reaches back behind you. 3, suck in that tummy. 4, don't straighten that front leg. 5, 6, 7, Abs. Keep the work in the right parts of your body. 9, 10, smiles are up. Keep the front knee bent. You're gonna lift and lower that rear leg from the same spot. Head doesn't move. Abs are engaged. You're sucking your tummy. You're using both glute max muscles. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, sucking that tummy. 8, 9, 10. Good. Stay in this position. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking your tummy. Minimal head motion. Bring your knee to your chest and back. Same spot every time. Smiles are up. 3, 4, abs. 5, 6, sucking that tummy. 7, 8, 9, one more. 10. Good job, everyone. Feet come together. Hip circles, make sure you didn't accidentally put the work where it shouldn't be, like your neck, shoulders, low back, or knees, and that it went into your butt and your abs. Opposite direction, suck in that tummy. Keep breathing. So I think this is week 3 of the cleanse that Maria and I are on. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Gotta say what it is. And good. Okay, we're gonna go back into our lungy position. What did we leave off with? I forgot. Which leg did we have forward? This one. So this leg is back. So left leg is back, abs are nice and tight. We're in the same position. We're gonna activate twist. So this requires balance. You're gonna lose balance and it's okay. Just come back to position. Front leg is bent, rear leg is straight. We're gonna do twist. Suck in your tummies, rotate twist. You're gonna try to get your torso to face off to the right. Suck in that tummy. You can put your right hand on your butt, left hand on your knee. Make sure that knee maintains alignment over the top of your foot as you twist. Suck in your tummy. Lower down a little bit more, twist a lot more, draw your shoulders down and back. 6, 7, suck in that tummy. 8, 9, 10. We're gonna switch sides. Okay, same thing on this side. Knee goes over the top of your foot, abs are nice and tight. Push your hips back, suck in your tummy. Time under tension. You're gonna cross your, what is this? Right hand over your left knee, left hand on your butt. You're gonna twist your torso to the left. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Twist is hard. Twist wrings out the body, but more importantly, it wrings out all your internal organs. This is why we want to do it. 5, suck in that tummy. 4, shoulders back. 3, 2, 1. Good job. Stand on 2 feet. Once again, hip circles. And now go in the opposite direction. So we're working that gyroscopic effect of the hips to keep our balance. Our head's doing a little bit of motion, but should be a whole lot less than the hips because the hips are supposed to take up the full motion because everything's in your hips, okay? You're gonna get your block now. We're gonna continue some of these hip motions that are important. Oop, I'm almost out of the frame. Okay, both legs are locked out, abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. And here we go, you're gonna lower your hip down. So notice almost immediately your tummy wants to hang out, suck it in. Keep your abs tight in this lowest position. Abs are nice and tight, we're stretching out this glute medius. Suck in your tummy, and then now we're gonna activate it. You're pulling through this glute medius, you're pulling through this oblique. You're gonna lift and lower, but keep your abs sucked in the whole time. That's 2. Keep breathing, don't use your shoulders. That's 3. 4, suck in that tummy. 5, suck it in. 6, 7, my Momona's going away. 8, 9, 10, good. The reason we do this, it is vital for the 2.5-inch, 10-inch rule. This is what gets your foot over a threshold so you don't trip. Okay, lower it down, abs are nice and tight. Sucking that tummy, stretching out this side, glute medius. Shoulder blades are down and back. Do not use your shoulders. We're using our oblique and our oblique and our glute medius on opposite sides as you lift and lower. Keep your tummy sucked in. Don't let your tummy hang out. Keep both legs locked out. This is hip motion, not knee motion. Smiles are up. Oh, keep breathing. I lost count. I think that's 6. Sucking that tummy. 7. Move from glute medius and oblique. 9. 10. Good. We're going to switch sides again. We're doing this because this is what creates proper walking mechanics. There's a lifting portion with each step. And what we'll do is, like we were doing, and I talked about the men's martial arts class, we'll try to do it in one motion like that, and your legs lock up, and it's actually hip, knee, and then ankle. And that's the way we're supposed to walk, okay? But we get lazy, and we try to combine motions. Nothing wrong with it, but we have to go back to fundamentals every once in a while, okay? So, keep your hip low, keep your abs engaged, suck in your tummy, shoulder blades are down and back. You're going to swing your legs. Swing, 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 swing. This is teaching you to swing low. And not just sweet chariot, but swing low, and your abs stay engaged. Shoulder blades are down back. I'm guessing that's about 10. Now you're going to lift your hip up. This is probably the more important swing to learn how to do, is firing up the oblique, firing up your glute medius, lifting your toe over the threshold, and swinging your leg without tripping over the threshold. Suck in that tummy, keep that hip lifted. 9, 10, good. We're going to switch sides. Not too hard, but very important. Okay? Swing low, your legs low, abs are nice and tight. Sweet chariot. Keep going, abs are nice and tight, suck in that tummy. It's easy to let that belly hang out, don't let it hang out. 9, 10, now bring it up, 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 suck in your tummy, swing. Keep breathing. Jaws relaxed, smiles are up. 8, 9, 10. Good. All right. For this next piece, there are 3 options. Okay. If you are under, well, let's say 5'2", you're going to want to put blocks down and stand on top of blocks because you're shorter and you can't get the roller's too high. If you're about average height, you can just put your elbow on the roller. If you're a little longer in the torso or legs, you could put a block down or up to 2 blocks. Some people have to even put 3. You're going to put it under your elbow like this, okay? So whatever it is that makes your oblique fire up, that's what we're trying to get to. Draw your shoulder blades down and back. Weight distribution's 50-50 through each foot, and what you're doing is you're trying to crush down the roller. I'm using a roller to crush the block, but I'm using this oblique. I'm not using my shoulder. Don't use your shoulder as you crush down, 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 down. Suck in your tummy as you do this, and you start working your abs. And that's what we're doing. We're doing a sideways sit-up. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in that tummy. Smiles are up. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Keep abbing. Keep 50-50. And good enough. Abs are nice and tight. Now we're going to lift lower our left leg. Keep pushing down. Don't use your neck. You're using these obliques to lift this up. You're using this glute medius. 7, abs. 8, 9, 10. Staying in this position, abs are nice and tight. You're going to lift lower. Now your right leg, using your left glute medius, still pushing down on the roller. I'm trying to, yeah, there it is. You can see it now. Still using this oblique, using this glute medius and this oblique. These are sit-ups, so keep your abs engaged. 8, 9, 10. Good. Let's switch sides. So set it up at whatever height you had on the other side. We're going to do it on this side. We're pushing down. Abs are engaged. Sucking your tummy. Crush the roller. Crush it using your obliques, not your neck and shoulders. Sucking that tummy. Trying to change the shape of the abdomen and the function of the abdomen. Smiles are up. Keep breathing. Get that oblique firing. Chest is up. You're also firing a little bit your lat. That's what keeps your heart up. Okay. Hold here. Abs are nice and tight. You're pushing down. You're lifting this leg up. Lift lower. It's not taking it out to the side. It's lifting it straight up. Abs are nice and tight. Use this oblique. Use this glute medius. Sucking that tummy. Trying to change the shape of the body. So we actually have to change the shape of the body for the body to change shape. 9, 10. Stay here. As you, I'll move over so you can see. 50-50 weight distribution. Oblique is on. You're going to lift lower from this side using this oblique, this glute medius, and this oblique. Keep breathing. Keep pushing down. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job, everyone. See what it feels like to stand up again? It should feel kind of interesting. Draw your shoulder blades down and back. Your abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Hip circle it out. Make sure your hip circles are around and you go the same amount in each direction. And then now go in the opposite direction. Okay. We're going to continue to open up those springtime movements. We're going to go into, it's just such an important one to do that we always do it. Put your left knee on the block, right foot is forward, abs are nice and tight. Suck in your tummy as your hips go side to side. Keep breathing. Suck in that tummy. If you do so, your head stays over the top of the block. This is opening up hip motion and balance. Okay, we're going to stretch forward, same thing, side to side. Try not to move that head, you're moving through your abdomen. You like the writing reflex. And good. We're going to stay in this forward position. I'm just angling off so you can see what I'm doing. Knees still over the top of your foot. You're pushing your hips forward as you bring your heel to your butt and then back down. This is working that hamstring. Ever so important in knee stability. Abs are nice and tight. Keep pushing those hips forward. 5, 6, 7, 8. Abs. 9, 10. You shouldn't feel it in your low back. Grab a hold of that foot. And we're going to take it with us as we pull that knee to our butt and bring our hips forward, suck in that tummy. No pressure in your low back because you're tightening your abs. Hips go side to side. Suck in that tummy. We're changing the shape of the momona. Keep breathing. It's funny, on this cleanse, Kai has lost 9 pounds. Mari and I not so much, but we're taking his achievement and making it ours. Okay, here we go. Take your leg across midline now. You're going to stretch forward first. We're getting a contralateral twist. Chest goes up first. We're twisting open in this position. We're not going to take the hand. We usually take it down to your toes. We're going to keep our chest up. Abs engaged. We're really reaching forward. Suck in that tummy. Hold with your abs. You should not feel anything in any joint because you're stabilizing with muscles. Always. Muscles, not joints. 3, 2, 1. It's kind of like that saying from the Kingsman. What is it? Brogues, not something I forgot. I'll look it up. Okay, we're gonna switch sides. Okay, same thing on this side. Your left foot is forward, your left knee's over top of your foot. Head's over the top of the block, your abs are engaged, your hips are gonna go side to side. Make sure the motion's symmetrical. This is the whole point of doing this. We're trying to eliminate unintentional limp, which we talked about all last week, or the week before. And you can look it up on those videos. Okay, stretch forward now, side to side, suck in that tummy. Keep those abs engaged. Try not to move the right knee. The right knee doesn't move. This is hip motion. So there's a way to move your hips without moving your knees. And you pull through your abs. So the abs become really protective on the knees as we now go. I'm turning it angling so you can see. You don't have to angle. You're gonna bring your heel to your butt and back down. Heel to your butt and back down. You're working that hamstring. Keep your hips forward. This ballistic snap is how fast you can run. So if it's really slow and difficult, you don't run fast. 6, 7, 8, 9 abs, 10. You should have felt that nowhere except your hamstring and maybe your abs. Grab a hold of that foot. We're gonna bring the heel to the butt and move our hips forward. Suck in your tummy, and we're stretching. You can wiggle your hips side to side. Lengthening muscles is part of the springtime process. That's why you find yourself stretching more in the springtime than you did in the wintertime. Wintertime is hibernation time, reduced metabolism time. Springtime is about growth and expansion. And good. Go ahead, release. I'm going to face forward so you can see. You're going to take your left leg across midline, and then you're going to reach forward. We're going to twist, 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 suck in your tummy. Mario sneaking by. Chest is up. Suck in that tummy. Suck, 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 suck in your tummy. Keep reaching, suck in your tummy. You should not feel this in any joints. This is muscles, not joint work. That's the garbage truck, and it makes me happy because I put the trash out last night instead of running out in my underwear at 6 a.m. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job, everyone. Ho, 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 ho. Okay, we are going to go into kneeling. The blocks are back behind you, your toes are pointed. So we're just in a toe pointed position like this. I'm gonna move that roller off to the side. Okay, you're leaning back as far as you can comfortably go. And then you're gonna try to get your knees off the ground. This is here where we do sit-ups. You're sucking in your tummy, changing the shape of your abdomen, not your chest. Suck it in, suck it in, suck it in. Good job. 6, 7, suck it in. Change the shape of that abdomen. 8, 9, 10. Good. Now, we're gonna curl our toes under. Curl, curl, curl. Push those heels back. Push, push, push. If you feel excessive pressure in those metatarsal heads, those are your toe knuckles, that means it's time to push your heels back. So push them back further. We're gonna go back in that same position. Notice how your tummy wants to flare out. Notice how your knees want to come apart. Bring your knees together. Now we do sit-ups. Suck in that tummy and relax. Keep breathing. Change the shape of your abdomen. 4, 5, 6, 7. Smiles are up. 8, 9, 10. Good. I'll face you now. Your toes are pointed, you're leaning back. Toes are up, suck in that tummy. Don't use your chest, use your abs. Suck in that tummy. Keep breathing. Suck, suck, suck in that tummy. 9, 10. Curl your toes under. Ooh, 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 ooh. Push those heels back. Don't want you to feel it in your metatarsal heads. As fun as that might be, suck it in. Really try to draw your abs in. It's harder than you think. Try to keep your knees together. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. You might need your blocks for this. You're gonna take your ball, you're gonna put it underneath your pelvic floor. It's midway between your pubic bone and your tailbone, so very important. So if you have short arms, blocks really come in handy. I have short arms. Short arms and long torso. Abs are nice and tight, you're sucking in your tummy. Stay over the top of the ball. Abs are nice and tight, suck in your tummy. You're gonna tighten your pelvic floor, tighten your abs. Suck everything in, keep your chest up. Squeeze that ball. Suck in that tummy. Keep breathing. Okay. We're gonna do a few things here. Hands are gonna go in the air, abs are nice and tight. You're gonna do hip circles. We're working that pelvic floor and all the pelvic floor stabilizing muscles. You're moving from your abs, not your shoulders. So try not to make your head and shoulders move, not the shampoo, but your head and shoulders. And now opposite direction. Notice if one direction was easier than the other. We don't want one better than the other. We want same. Chest up, abs tight. 8, 9, 10. Good. Keep your arms and legs in the same place as you go for a walk. Opposite hand, opposite foot. Lift, hold, gently lower. Lift, hold, gently lower. This will get you into walking properly instead of stomping around. Chest up, abs tight. 9 and 10. Good. Whoa. Go ahead, straighten both legs. Watch your balance. I was doing just fine. Abs are nice and tight, feet are parallel, suck in your tummy, chest up. Same thing, tighten your pelvic floor, relax. Tighten your pelvic floor. Notice how when your legs are straight, it's actually harder to tighten your pelvic floor. Food for thought when you're standing up and walking out your legs. Suck in your tummy and release. Suck in your tummy, release. Just keep doing that. Change the shape of your abdomen. Okay, hands and stick them up. You're gonna do hip circles from your hips, not from your knees, not from your ankles or your feet or your neck. Keep sucking in your tummy. Notice your hip circle got smaller with your legs straight. Opposite direction. Ooh. 7, 8, 9, 10. Arms come to the side as we do opposite hand, opposite foot walking. We're still working the pelvic floor muscles, especially that pubococcygeus muscle. We're working it hard. Work balance. Do not bend your knees to lift your legs up. Whoa. One more. Good. Okay. Which brings us to our next piece. You're gonna sweep your legs off to the right. The ball goes off to your left, so you should look like the Little Mermaid in the Hans Christian Andersen story. Chest is up. Okay, if you do this correctly, you'll feel this in your oblique. If you do this incorrectly, you'll feel it in your hip flexor. If you feel it in your hip flexor, it means your hip needs to come more forward and you need to lift up taller. Abs are nice and tight, you're sucking your tummy. We're gonna do sit-ups over to the right. Suck in your tummy, make sure you're moving from your obliques. Activate the transverse abdominis. That's what makes it a sit-up. Keep breathing. You guys are doing awesome. Chest up. Okay, now we're gonna rotate to that away. Right, suck in your tummy. This is deepening that internal oblique use. Keep breathing. It's like you're hitting a soccer ball. Chest up. And good. Now we're going to rotate off to the left. Really try to get that hip forward and you're leaning back. This is the, oh my goodness gracious. Oh my God, it's Godzilla motion. Smiles are up. This is working the external oblique. Okay, we're gonna stay in the center. I'm moving this off the side just so you can see and it doesn't interfere. You gotta keep your hip forward as you lift and lower this leg. You're using your oblique, not the hip flexor. If you feel it in the hip flexor, push your hip forward more. Suck in that tummy. 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. So you're now gonna flop over the top of the ball. Oh, you're gonna put your, what is this? Left ankle on top of your right knee. As you take your arm over the top of your head, stretching out the flank of your body, opening up that armpit once again. Keep breathing. Suck in that tummy. This is opening up tensor fasciae lata and glute medius, in case you accidentally use those instead. Okay, and then you can come back up again. You're gonna go up on top of the ball. Your legs will go off. I'm gonna move a little bit so I stay on camera. Ball's underneath your right butt cheek. Both legs are off to the left. Got it. Abs are nice and tight. Push this hip forward, suck in your tummy, chest is up, hands are stick them up. We're leaning over that away. Sucking in that tummy. Chest up. So one of the things you should have noticed tightened up over the winter time are shoulders. That's really interesting because, like I said, it locks in temperature. Keep breathing. That's why in the springtime we have to open up those shoulders. Suck that tummy in, chest stays up. You're working your obliques. Don't let the pressure go into your knees either. Keep the work in your abs as you now rotate, 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 and you're gonna head that soccer ball. Boom, boom. I just think of all the concussive forces I put into my head heading soccer balls. I could be so much smarter now, sucking your tummy. But would I take it back? I don't think so. But I wiped out millions upon millions of neurons. Okay, rotate to your right. Hands gonna stick them up. So, oh my God, it's Godzilla motion. Or oh my goodness gracious. This is working the external oblique now. The other way was the internal oblique. Suck that tummy in. Good. Come back to center. Make sure this hip is forward or you'll feel it in the hip flexor. We want to feel it in the oblique, which is up here between the rib cage and the hip. You're going to lift lower. Abs are nice and tight. Eight, 9, 10. Good. Now, you're going to hook your leg over the top, your right ankle over the top of your left knee as you now stretch over the top, opening up this armpit. Oh. Keep your abs engaged. You're elongating the side of your body. Notice if one side's tighter than the other. Okay, come back up again. As the ball goes behind the small of your back, I have to move the microphone so I do not break yet another $400 set of microphones. Hands go back behind you. Abs are nice and tight. You are now sucking in your tummy. We're gonna suck that tummy in, suck it in, suck it in, suck it in. We're not gonna do a whole lot of sit-ups today because we've done them in other places. But keep sucking that tummy in. Jaws relax, abs are nice and tight. Okay, grab a hold in your knees, same thing, suck in your tummy, suck it in, suck it in. You're trying to change the shape of your abdomen. So if your abdomen's not changing shape, you're not doing sit-ups. Okay, and here we go. We're gonna punch left, punch right without bending your arms. Suck in your tummy. At no point do your arms bend. We're keeping them nice and rigid. Rigid. I love that word. The other word, a word I really love is level. It's a palindrome and it's balanced. Suck in that tummy. Just a little bit more. And good. Arch over the top of the ball. We're going to rock side to side. Keep your abs engaged. First, second, third chakras are on. Close up that rib cage. Keep the pelvic floor on. Suck your navel into your spine. Just because you're stretching doesn't mean you turn things off. Okay, bend your knees. Ball goes under the small of your back, your sacrum. We're just gonna do a few of these. Abs are nice and tight. You're taking legs off the ground. First, we're just gonna tighten the pelvic floor, close up your rib cage. Try to bring your navel to your spine. You're just sucking in your navel. Keep breathing. Keep your pelvic floor on. And then touch the ground with your left toes. And touch your toes, or the ground with your right toes. Just go back and forth. Keep your abdomen tight and level. Don't let your back arch. There's no arching of your back. Your lats fire up, so push your hands around. Keep sucking in that tummy. This is something that's easy to cheat, not really do a lot of work. I want you to over-exaggerate it and do too much work. Tight, 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 tight. Keep it tight. Your quads are also working. I want those tight. Time under tension. Squeeze your arms into the ground. Those are your lats. We want those working. All these muscle groups are working to protect your body and make it strong. Keep sucking in that tummy. Heading down the home stretch of this. 5, 4, suck it in. 3, suck it in. 2, push into the ground. 1, feet back down on the ground. Abs are nice and tight. You're just going to do sit-ups here. You're sucking in your tummy, trying to get your navel to your spine. Do not use your butt. You're not lifting anything up. You're actually trying to flatten out your spine against the ground. Suck that tummy in. Same muscle groups. Try to feel it deep and not just superficially, because this is really activating your obliques and your abs. Remember, more muscles than you need, so your quads are working, your lats are pushing, or your arms are pushing in the ground to activate your lats. Good. Go ahead and sit back up again. Take the ball out from underneath you. Of course, my little ball had to roll away. We're gonna put the ball behind our right shoulder blade. Where is it? You're gonna roll around on top of that ball. You're gonna find out whatever's sore. Remember, the scapula is triangular shape. So there's only a lateral border, a medial border, and a superior border. You can go on the scapula or on any of the borders. You can move your shoulder around to work shoulder range of motion. You can go on your sides to get deeper into the teres major, teres minor, or infraspinatus. Any of those muscles of the shoulders. They're called sits muscles or rotator cuff muscles. Break everything open. Everything is good. Roll, roll, roll. You can do it with your head down or your head up. Oh, you can move it around. Woohoo! Keep breathing. And then we're gonna switch sides whenever you feel ready. You can do, or hang out on the side that you need to roll a little bit more. Same thing, any of the borders of the scapula, or directly on it. Oh, you can move your shoulder around, or you can roll on top of the ball, or both. Keep breathing. Oh my goodness. There should be no sore spots. If there are, it's because of something you're doing during the day and not because of this ball. Oh. I think this calls for a change in music as you guys continue to roll out those body parts. Okay, just roll everything out. Come into deeper breaths because we're going to sit up momentarily. And since everything's opened up, you're going to take your, right arm, put it behind your left shoulder blade. And we're going to lay down on top of that arm. Oh, you're going to feel some kind of tension in your shoulders. And what we know from time under tension is we want that work to come into our abs. You're going to bend your knees, bump your hips over to the left, knees will drop over to the right. So hips to the left, knees to the right. And we're just going to stretch open the shoulder. You can rock your head side to side. Keep breathing. Jaws relaxed. Inhale and exhale. That's a big equalizer. This can be quite scary, quite painful. See if you can relax into it. Nothing about this is personal, except the emotions that you stored in that shoulder. Jaws relaxed. Stretch open. Just a little bit longer. You're doing awesome. Okay, and now you're going to roll onto your left side. Take your right arm into the air. It's not going to feel like yours for a couple of movements. And just move it around till it feels like your arm again. So that's telling you how much tension is actually stored in the shoulder. So we're going to sit back up again. We're going to do the opposite side. You're going to take your left hand behind your right shoulder blade. You're going to lay back down on this side. Just feel the stretch. And then bump your hips over to the right and knees over to left as you stretch out this side. You can rock your head side to side. And breathe. Or do nothing. And breathe. Jaws relaxed. Feel what it takes to open up and draw the tension from one part of your body and pull it into the other part of your body so you start utilizing energy instead of storing it in compartments away from center until your body can only register that as an injury. Just stretch. Almost done. Here we go. You're going to roll over onto your right side. Take that left arm over the top of your head. It won't feel like yours for a few movements, and then it becomes yours again. You didn't die. That's a good thing. We're going to lay on our rollers now, lengthwise. You're going to be lengthwise on your roller, butt on one end, head on the other end. I want your head slightly off the roller so your head is neutral with your pelvis. Just a tiny bit, not a lot. It's not so your chin's sticking out. It's just a little bit. And your arms come out to your sides. Your feet are parallel. Your knees are over tops of your feet. First chakra, your pelvic floor is fired up. Third chakra is closed up. And you're breathing from second chakra. So opening up into springtime involves movement, involves change in diet, It involves activities out in the light. Obviously, it's going to involve temperature change, so you're going to have change of clothing and more movement. Like I talked about earlier in this series, I talked about working in a furrier store where they sold furs. Furs, even though they're no longer connected to the animal, will still go through its pattern of molting as springtime comes, and they'll lose the winter coat. So you put the coat in the refrigeration so that doesn't happen. So you'll notice your hair starts falling out, your winter hair, and it'll be replaced by spring and summertime hair, which looks a little different, usually a little more flowy, less about retaining heat. One of my friends in high school used to be so surprised that his leg hairs would start dropping out in the springtime, but it made sense. He just happened to be hairy. Stay here a little bit longer as you draw your breath in the center and midline, and you breathe. Feel what it feels like to breathe. The air temperature in some places hasn't warmed up yet, so it's still cool. So you might not necessarily like some of these things that we did today because they'll make you feel cold. But remember, this is just a projection into the upcoming weeks as it warms up. Other places, it's getting warm and you'll like this. Take your hands over the top of your head. As we give a last stretch to open up the armpits, keep your abs engaged. Don't let your spine leave the roller. Jaws relaxed. And then you're going to make snow angels or sand angels, whatever you want to call them, wherever you're from. Out here, they're sand angels. Where you're from, it may be snow angels. Or slushy mud, slow melting snow slurry yuckiness angels. Although, from what I've seen in Canada, it's still pretty darn cold. Okay, you guys stay on your rollers. I'm sitting up to bring you guys home. Chest is up. You're breathing still. You're laying on your roller lengthwise. Stay in your center. Come into breathing. Collect and energetically opening and expanding, but expanding not to push out into the universe, but actually to receive in a larger scale, like you would take your arms out wider to catch things falling from the sky. But you're doing that with your energy. Just breathe and stay centered. Yesterday was Valentine's Day. It's a day that celebrates heart. So feel what it feels like to have gone through that process of being in your heart. The full moon will be up today or tomorrow. Just feel what it feels like to receive the moon. As always, you guys did an amazing job. And on behalf of Maria and me, thank you so much for being here, being open and willing to do the crazy things we send you through. Think about the crazy things we talk about and just be part of our lives and our friends. We love you very much. Thank you and namaste.